Okay, now, so I didn't just see you jogging along a very prominent road that leads to a very prominent freeway where you have to pass a Walgreens without divulging the city where you live. That because you look like you're in your office. So that was not you jogging in that neighborhood.
No, I'm on campus. I'm at the U. No, I'm not.
Okay.
Wasn't near the Walgreens on the
that
near
road.
the unnamed highway.
Yeah, that road that they're redoing right now, and
Yeah.
I live 4 minutes from that major freeway, and hey,
Yep.
the ceiling and everything looks beautiful, smells good, and everything takes an hour to go 1 foot. Come on,
Not good. Not good.
Well, see, I saw an athlete out there, so I thought it was you.
Somebody was out there running. It wasn't me.
Yeah, the only thing I run from is my past.
I should be out there. That's what I need to be doing.
Are you kidding me? When it's hot like that, come on. I mean, I haven't felt my ribs in 30 years. Like I'm going to get out there and run when the heat index is 100. Are you kidding me?
Oh man, PA, we've gotten old, man.
No. Speak for myself. No, wait a second. Now you're in your office
for like 20 years. We've gotten old.
Well, you are a fan of the fan, and
yes.
That's really cool. So there's something on that I'm gonna get to right at the end, but you've caught my eye with that mural behind you. So in your office, what do we got? Whoa! Oh, ain't no stopping us now.
On a 14. Let's see.
That's
what else?
Sweet, Lindsay.
Trophy. The Final Four trophy, the net.
Yep.
Team USA golf bag.
You see that shelf below, like the trophy that has nothing on it?
Yeah.
Is that your commemorative Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl shelf?
Oh.
Why would I say that calling their games? Andy's loose. No. Blow pack blow.
Jeez.
I don't know. I'm bitter. I want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl, and you're from here, Hutchinson raised, now suburban trained. And I mean, you've lived it and loved it all your life. We got to win a Super Bowl one of these days, Ms. L.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I lived 98. You know, it was the song by Will Smith, "We're Going to Miami." That was on the radio nonstop.
Yeah.
15-1. We take the major L against, and then I really thought, to be honest with you, sitting in I don't get back to watch a ton to watch Vikings games because, living in the cities and whatnot, we have our game day routine. And I really thought when we had Brett Favre and he threw the pass to in the back of the end zone against the 49ers. Greg Lewis. I was like, we're gonna win it. We never win games like that. I was like, we're winning it this year. And then the Saints game, we really haven't. I mean, the year the Minneapolis Miracle, it just didn't feel like we went out to Philly and just kind of it wasn't good. So I don't know.
You know what? And
it'll happen. It has to happen. Law of averages, but it's like we've lived it our whole lives.
I mean, you and I amazingly live relatively close to each other. I've walked by your spot with little baby Teddy, the doggy. I've seen the castle. I've seen the development of the moat. Then you guys lost 5 in a row, and you got negative, and so you stopped with the moat. Now it's just a puddle. And but we should meet up more and chat sports more, like out on that. It's a piece of land and people got sticks and little balls and like knock them around and all that stuff.
Yep.
But
reminds me of the Olympics.
You being a no doubt in a very hilly neighborhood.
Yep.
You being a coach and a former player. I think you really can relate to after the Minneapolis Miracle, like when they ran into the field house for the Wednesday practice before that Saints game. I mean, they were jumping around like kids at a time. They were just fired up, unbelievable. Here we go. We're good. Lost Bradford, lost Dalvin. Look at Case, all good. And then that happened. And the next week when they ran into that field house, holy cow, I ain't saying zombies, but I mean, it was so different. And
big letdown, huh?
And they were favored in that game at Philadelphia, which is just weird. I mean, if anything, it should have been a pick 'em.
Yeah.
So just keeping these kids even keeled and not super high and not super low. It's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. And it's like, you always go back to, not wanting to have that letdown after a huge win. It's like anytime we've had a huge win, I think back to, when Team USA, we beat Russia, and then we still go finish a job against Norway or Sweden. It's we didn't win the gold medal. Everybody thinks it's a gold medal game. Everybody thinks that's the gold medal game. We had several games in our last WBB championships. We beat LA in Game 4. It's like we still got to go finish the job in Game 5. It's like the job's not done, but it's like that's where consistency comes in, PA, and that's where we're trying to teach our team and work with this group, is because the more consistent you are. 'Cause to be honest with you, consistency, that is greatness. That is the elite of the elite players. They're consistent. And so that's where when you're consistent, that builds trust. And then you don't have those letdowns, because it's just like, well, you try to take till midnight to enjoy it, or one day, and then you got to move on. And when you have that consistency, you have that trust, and you don't have that big letdown. And that's how you manage seasons and journeys, if you will, because it's emotional, but you got to just, stick to what you do every day and stick to what you know.
That's beautifully stated. I just opened my basketball Bible and read the book of Lindsay. And I mean, that was straight from it. What a wonderful prophecy about consistency. And, you mentioned 98 with the Vikings 15-1. And back then I was thinking before we did this, 02 and 03. I mean, you're kicking ass for the University of Minnesota. And KG and Spree and MV3, they're going to the Western Conference Finals. The Wild with Gabby and Bruno and Wes Walls, they're going to the Western Conference Finals.
Yep.
That was what an unbelievable time. And guess what? It's about 20 years ago, Al.
Yep. Yeah, that was fun. And you got to think, in 2001, 2002, we went back to back with Gopher men's hockey.
Yeah.
The first one here at the X.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what a time to be playing sports here at the U, and then what a time to be watching, conference finals and semifinals games for the Timberwolves. And like you said, the Wild, that was kind of one of their first runs into, the deep into the playoffs and things. So, I think it's, you got to have, you got to have hope. You got to have faith, though, right?
Yeah.
And I think like for our team, we win more Big Ten games in the previous year in a pandemic. That gives us a lot of, spring forwardness going into this next season, because we did that during a pandemic, during the hardest year that any of us have ever lived through. You talk about the Wild, obviously Kaprizov and making it to Game 7. There's a lot of, I think hope there. And then I think the Timberwolves, with what they did the last month and a half, the Lynx, we got everybody. No, not so much on the Wolves.
Well, with the Wolves, I mean, hey, I'm going to yield to your basketball opinions 10 out of 10 times. But I mean, when Finch took over for our mutual friend Ryan Saunders, it's a tough world.
Yeah.
Chris did a good job, and there were some things that needed to get squared away, I would imagine, and he got them squared away. But when it's like, now Anthony Edwards looks like a stone cold stud. I mean, until they start playing in games where there are more chips in the middle of the table, and the leverage situation is relatively high because you got something at stake, I can't really properly judge everybody together and like how bad or how good they are. Is that fair?
Yeah, and I think too, it's the season ended the year before, and we didn't get to go to the bubble, and then it's like this season started late, and it was all chaotic, and we didn't have Cat for a long stretch. D'Lo gets hurt, so it will be fun to see this core group of those guys with Ant, who I think should be Rookie of the Year. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but then we get you get that going, and we can see, and then because that's the group, right? That's the group that has to go through. What do you think about?
I like Beasley, and I mean, I watch a lot of NBA. I genuinely like the sport, always have. When you go to high school in the Los Angeles area and graduate in '84, and it's Magic and Bird, hello, and Dr. J, and oh my God, and
So did you watch Snoop last night?
What?
Watch Luka last night, 42-12.
Well, let me ask you this, because Nordo brought this up 9 to noon today. Okay, he goes for 42 and 14, like you just said.
12.
Why do they never double him? Okay, I mean they never double him, and isn't it right to be like, hey, we're going to let you have 20 and go ahead and have 24 assists, and let's let something called Max Kleber try to beat us from the corner because. Like Draymond Green on Inside the NBA last night. Draymond's so good on that show.
He's very good.
He's like, here's Shaq talking about, you got to either let Luka have 90, shut everybody else down, the whole old Michael Jordan bit. And Draymond was like, well, let me get this straight. Reggie Jackson shot 12 3-pointers, and Paul George had 14 shots in the entire game. Sounds like Dallas is doing exactly to the Clippers what you're saying the Clippers should do to Dallas, but they never double him.
Well, what they were doing last night when Luka he hit 5 threes in the first half, so they started going over ball screens, but they kept their big guy back. But then so he just put whoever was behind him. He just did the dribble hold and kept him behind, and then he got his floater. This is where he's so good. And then they did double him. They blitzed him a few times in pick and roll.
Oh.
And he found the big guy, Bogdanovich, down the middle.
Yep.
And, if you come over on Bogdanovich, now you have the corner 3.
Yeah.
So he's an impossible. So what you're saying is you would just at half court just go throw 2 guys at him.
Well, what I'm saying is,
his hands, or would you double him and you have him pick and roll?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I mean, if we want to go back to Glendora High School or Pasadena City College, when I set that down screen and passing game and then flashed into the key and then
I was just going to say a little pin down flash. Yeah.
Okay. And then we had the across the key sneaky pick to get the person under the bat. Now I'm your Huckleberry. Yeah. When it comes to over screens and slowing Luka, I'm not your Huckleberry, so I can't answer you on that.
What do you think of my links?
The start surprised me. I had Cheryl on day of game 1. Sure. And you know what? Honestly, without Collier, that's going to be a problem when they don't have her.
Yeah.
I just with Canterbury starting and stuff like that, I haven't watched as much. I enjoy watching the games because I like basketball.
Yeah, they play tomorrow night.
Ain't no what's the record right now?
1-4.
Yeah, ain't no way you could put like what Moses Malone said back in the day. You could get 5 girls from any city you want in the country and put them on the court for 20 minutes for a half or whatever, and Cheryl ain't going to go 0-4. I mean, she's just that good of a coach. So, but
she's gonna figure it. They'll figure it out. They just have too good of a core of players.
Why don't you come out of retirement? Why don't you double dip? Hey, nobody's ever been the coach of a college basketball team and a game-changing point guard at the professional level.
Well, we should have maybe had this talk 2 years ago because I'd have to start. Yeah, it would take me a while to get back to be able to be in game shape.
But if we met in the driveway right now, you still could killer crossover on 96% of the country.
Yeah, I probably would. I'd have a torn hamstring that I'd have to do therapy for 6 weeks after.
Oh man, that would make it tough.
That'd be all she wrote, but yeah, maybe.
That'd make it tough jogging along that popular street that gets to a popular freeway where you have to pass a popular Walgreens. I want to close with this. I want to play a game. You okay playing a game?
Yeah, always.
I'm going to utter a word or a phrase. And Miss Lindsay Whalen, I would like the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear this and elaborate a little. And if you don't, you don't. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Russell.
Westbrook.
Why not Wilson?
I was just talking about Russell Westbrook the other day. They were playing a game, and I was talking to my some neighbors about how great of a guy he is. He was the nicest guy at the Olympics in 2008. Like, would go and talk to my mom. He was so nice. So, wow. Russell Westbrook.
Well, Russell Westbrook, when OKC, Houston, or now Washington comes into town, my son, Senor Smiley, works food and beverage at Canterbury, has since he was 15. He's 20. Russell Westbrook gave him the biggest tip he ever has received in his life. And this, by the way, not to share company secrets, this is after Russell just got absolutely obliterated over the course of an hour at one of those tables.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like hot dog, nachos, Coca-Cola, whatever. Oh, here's $300, kid with the dimples. Holy cow.
Yeah, not surprising.
I love it
Nice.
when famous people do stuff like that, man.
Yeah, he in the lobby of the hotel because we stayed where the men's and women's teams stayed at the same hotel in London, and he would go out of his way to speak to my mother and my mother-in-law,
Wow.
just to introduce
That's
himself
awesome.
and say hi. He's just, I mean, and that was I interacted off and on for the month of the Olympics.
Mhm.
One of the nicest people ever.
You mentioned your mother-in-law. How is young Benjamin?
Ben's good. He's good. He's let's see. Today he's playing. No, yesterday he played Somerset. Today he's playing.
Why isn't he just playing some Muni and just play a Muni and go out there and show off?
The University course?
Yeah, like some public course or something like that, you know?
I played it last year. I played the university course last year. It's in good shape. No, I can't remember where he's playing, but we usually play Olympic.
What's he like when you get home after an awful loss where you maybe got jobbed by the refs and you're pissed off?
So he's usually more mad about the refs than me. I'll tell you that. So he's more. We watch it back. Like we watch every game back that night together, and
That's romantic.
Yeah, we watch every game back together, and I mean he played basketball. He loves. I mean, other than golf, basketball is one of his favorite sports. So he'll watch, and he's more upset about the refs than me always. And because I'm always like, I should have called this timeout. Why played her? I left her out there too long. She got tired. I should have called this person more. Like, that's kind of how you take it on, right?
Yeah.
And the refs, like, he is just, and he has, like, I have control, so I can like sit down and be like, blame myself or, in the same way with the wins, like you still critique and things, but he's usually on the refs, and we watch the game back and usually have frozen pizza, something cold to drink, a little rehydration, and can't never fall asleep after a game still to this day. So just get a couple hours of sleep and go back to it the next day. But he loves it. I mean, last year was so crazy because he couldn't even come to the first handful of games, and then they let immediate family in for like the last month. The Big Ten did. So he'll be excited to be back at the barn.
Here's a phrase. What comes to your mind? Beautiful mystery.
Beautiful mystery.
That's what Aaron Rodgers said right after the Bucs game. My offseason is going to be a beautiful mystery.
Oh.
I don't know if it's become beautiful for all parties involved, but it's a hell of a mystery.
I was going to say, it sounds like some sort of like novel, like deep, like novel that you're like, find out at the end. But how about that?
We daggered at 9 to noon today. Basically, emptied my notebook. Like, here's the deal. Here's what I think. Next level Goody over there. Hey, call if you're going to take a quarterback in the first round. Call HOF and tell him. I mean, how do you not do that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He has earned that. Right.
I mean, he has guidelines.
Yeah, that's true.
Here we go. Next one.
The play call in the fourth, Green Bay's just they're struggling.
Field goal they took
field
the
goal
gun
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you take the gun out of Ryan Fitzpatrick's hand, not Aaron Rodgers. You let Lindsay clear out in a big spot when she's feeling it, and win or lose with L.
Yeah.
You don't kick it over to the eighth person on the bench because somebody's in foul trouble. So anyway, the word fidgety.
Caffeine.
I thought you were going to say Kirk Cousins.
Too much coffee. If you have too much, I was thinking if you have too much coffee, then you're all over the place.
Ben Johnson.
Great coach.
You think
I'm so excited for him. I'm really excited for him.
Good. Man, you guys getting out there recruiting, man. I mean, that and the PJ too. Holy cow. We got with you, Ben, PJ, I don't know all the names. Motzko. I mean,
Hugh.
And who?
Hugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt about that. So so good luck to Ben. Last one for the name. Zim.
Defensive genius.
I thought you were going to say cranky.
No. No. I'll say cover 2 or blitz, whatever he does. Tampa 2 with the blitz. And
it's.
I was going to say he's Mr. Halftime adjustments with the defense because every so often there'll be a first half and we're like, oh, we're kind of bending that break, and they might score, but I'm like, second half, Zim's going to have it figured out. Well, as long as it's not too much and our offense is like somewhat going, we're going to get back to the game because Zim always makes adjustments.
It's called mugging the A gap. Now, the gaps, A, B, and whatever by the center, they've been the gaps forever. But actually, Zimmer invented a way to mug it, to fake, and here's Hitman over here, and here's so-and-so. So he just went non-obvious on it. So he actually is credited with like inventing mugging the A gap, inventing something in a super old sport that's unbelievable.
That's all.
In closing, you are a self-proclaimed fan of the fan. You know, you I think have been on all the radio shows. So I'm gonna end it by asking you this.
Yes.
Eliminate 9 to noon from the equation. What is your favorite show on the Fan?
My favorite show. I gotta go bump.
Big ticket, baby.
Big ticket. It's because we usually practice 1 to 4, so I usually get the top 5 at 5. You know, I usually get the update, and
that's awesome.
JG, you know, JG's my guy from.
Like
we go back, so
yeah.
We're the same.
Corey Coe's the snot-nosed kid. You know, then you got the program master interviewer of college basketball coaches, as I heard yesterday, and then you got. This is your Crossovers Arena leader, the Fan. He's phenomenal.
It's very good. It's very good. Yeah, yesterday was the first time that I actually crossed off. I don't think I had been on Common. I hadn't been on Common before, and so yesterday was that when I've done initials. I was on Sludge and Lake back in the day.
Yeah.
But what got me into talk radio was PA and Dubé.
Really?
No question. Yeah, like I had, you know, growing up, I mean, you know, I don't know. Sid, you know, my dad would listen to Sid.
Sunday mornings,
and, you know, listen to that. He would listen every Sunday morning in the garage as he's doing things. And then once I got to college and would just kind of, you starting to like, you know, hone in more to like the sports scene, and then PA and Dubé. That's what got me and my husband in.
And then your basketball team at the U was unbelievably good. We would never talk about it for 2 weeks in a row, and you'd say, "F you 10 to 1 just for fun. Talk about our squad. We're good."
True.
Then I'd have Miss Freeze on, and Brenda Freeze, right?
Yeah, Brenda. Yeah. Well, Brenda Freeze. Yep.
Yeah, and then she well, what was it then? Brenda what?
It was Brenda Oldfield, but now it's Brenda Freeze.
Yeah, then I tell her about the passing game and the flash inside, roll off that pick, get it elbow extended, nail that 15-footer, and call it a day.
Set the pin down, flash to the middle. That's the PA.
Now, when we do this again, because it's like one of the greatest conversations I've ever been part of, and I thank you for that. We'll talk more about your squad coming up, recruiting, get a little more Rube-like. I promise you it won't be 24 minutes. And God bless you, and maybe I'll see you around the neighborhood. Okay.
Same. I hope so. We got to hang out for sure, buddy.